So I have never used a CNC or owned one before, but I made this with the RENO 4040 Genmitsu by SainSmart. So does that mean it's beginner friendly? Well, let's find out. So with everything in the box, it weighs 37.4 pounds. But what has that got to do with anything? I thought you might want to know, just in case you're considering getting one of these for yourself. It comes with what I would call a decent instruction manual to put it together. I had printed the instructions off their website prior to purchasing it, but I went ahead and used what was provided with the kit that it comes in. They provided this tool guide, which I think is very valuable. It lists all the different bits that you can use with the CNC. I think it's valuable. I believe I'll use it at some point. It does come with a set of V-bits, which I think is a good idea. It's quite a good number you can use to practice on as a beginner, so that's a plus. So I'm just taking everything out of the box and laying them on my kitchen island, on which I will be putting everything together. So let me say at the get-go here, this is not a full unboxing and setup video. There are quite a good number of videos already on how to put this together, but I wanted to share some of what my experience was with putting it together. So it's not very detailed. In fact, there is no instruction in the process. I'm just sharing a video of what I did. Let me say this, it's the highlights of what I did to put this together and give it a first try. So this is just another view of what was in the box. One thing I should say was it was well packaged. So these are the drill bits that it comes with. It's quite a good number that you can have a good practice with. That also, I believe, is a plus for beginners. If you have some experience as a DIYer with putting things together, you know, like if you buy a cabinet or a bed from IKEA, if you've done something like that before and you put it together by yourself, with or without the use of the instruction manual, this might be something you'll be able to do pretty quickly. I took my time because I wanted to, I'm naturally a detailed person, so I wanted to see what the build looks like. But yes, if you are a handy person, you should be able to put this together. So I believe it took me about 2 to 3 hours, maybe 4 hours to put it together, because at some point in putting it together I wasn't referencing the setup manual, as you probably might gather from the video, because I wanted to see how easy it would have been to put it together without a user manual. And to a large extent it is, because most of the parts, they could only fit one way or in one particular spot, and the instances where I was in doubt, I just had the manual handy so that I can, especially with the hardware, I want to make sure I use the right hardware in the right spots. But in general, it is it's not that difficult to put together. So I would say that is another plus, but mind you, this is just, we've not gone to the use of it yet. This is just putting it together. I'm saying it's a plus because I've never put one of these together, and I'm just judging based on my experience with this, not with my experience in general with putting things together. I would be so wrong if I was to go through this whole video and not make mention of one of the things that could have been done way better or set up way better, and that is these bottom rails. I know I'm not the only one who had some challenge putting them together. It's just the way they have it set up. It could have been, I believe it could have been done better. Maybe have it set up in a way where you attach the side rails to the bottom rail instead of attaching the bottom rails to those side rails. It was a little bit finicky, and I had to make sure I had the right angle to do it. So that's something I hope they'll take into consideration going forward. I don't think I'm the only one who encountered that issue. So that one could be challenging, but again, if you get it at the right angle, just to keep the knot from sliding and being able to attach the the screw in, you should be okay. It's one of the things I know I took quite some time to get it attached. So again, the bottom rail, to attach that to the side rails or to the sides was a little bit challenging, and that's not a plus. That's something I hope they'll do better with subsequent builds. I believe we're about 12 minutes into the video now. I want to remind you to subscribe if you've not already done so, and it is free to do so. It's free to click on the subscribe button. I won't be sending you anything else other than new videos that I post. Actually, I'm not the one doing it. YouTube will be doing that, just so you don't miss any new videos that would also be of value to you. And I want you to know that I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope it is bringing some value to you, and that's what my intention is, to bring you as much value every time with every video. If you like it, please click the like button and feel free to share. That is also free. Thank you. I appreciate you. When it came to attaching the spindle head, I think it was quite easier than I expected. It has 4 screws that you use to attach that onto the arm that goes left and right, that goes from one side to the other. Yeah, but attaching that was pretty easy. I anticipated it would have been a little bit challenging, but it was easier than fixing the bottom rails, I would say. That's for sure. That, I would say, is a plus for a beginner. this was another piece that I thought would have been challenging. Maybe I did it wrong, but I'm sharing a video here of how I did it. Let me know in the comments if you think there was something I did wrong, but it was fairly simple to put together, contrary to what I had read and saw other people that put it together had to say about it. But like I said, I found that it was pretty easy to put together, as long as you can figure out where the belt, you know, the path that the belt should go through. It was, like I said, I found it a lot easier to put together than anticipated, so that is a plus, unless I got lucky. But yeah, it was not that hard to put together. So for me, that is a plus. It may not be for everyone, but as a beginner, it's a plus for me. So this wraps it for my assembly video. Now it was time to attach one of the bits that they provided onto the spindle head there, which I think the process is very straightforward. You have these two wrenches they're provided in the kit. So we use one to hold onto the shaft, and then the other one to loosen the collet nut through which you will attach the drill bit onto. So once you have the bit in there, I think I had mine in a little further in, maybe not, but just make sure that you tighten the collet, tighten it really tight, because these you know, the normal speed is 10,000 RPMs and you don't want that flying out. And here I am doing my first test with the file that was provided on the flash drive that they included with the hardware. The flash drive has the drivers and three sample files, and this was the result. My first try, I would say that was simple. My second try, I'm using the easel because based on the research I did, I found that it was one of the easiest software to use for CNC. You can design within easel and you can carve within easel. With the software that comes with the CNC, I was able to use the carving software, which is called Candle. I wasn't able to use the other one, and I think it messed up my computer, or my computer got confused or whatever. At some point I could not do anything with it, so I left it for a little while. I did reach out to Genmitsu or to Saint Smart, and someone did reach out. I think it was the next day. However, I was able to figure out what was going on. They had told me to solve the issue because, well, let me say what my issue was. When I designed something and sent it to carve, or when I wanted to carve it using the Candle software, the spindle will start spinning and then it just stops. It goes to a hold for whatever reason. I couldn't figure out what it is, and that's when I reached out to Genmitsu, and what they suggested was for me to reinstall the drivers and also check to make sure that the temporary stop, or the temporary stop or emergency stop, not temporary stop, make sure the emergency stop button is not stuck, which was not the case in my own situation. So what I did was, I'm using a Windows computer. I just created a new user profile, and then I created a standard user profile and then installed the drivers for the machine, and I was able to use it again. But since I'd already tried easel, that's what I'm using, and that's what I believe I'll be using going forward. It is pretty easy to design in and use. I mean, the process is very, very beginner friendly. So if you're looking for software to use with the CNC, I would recommend using the easel, because it takes you when it's time to carve, you go step by step. It will check to make sure that you have the piece clamped down. You'll have to click yes, and then it takes you to the next step. It'll ask you whether you have the spindle over your workpiece. It takes you through a number of steps that you will have to confirm until it gets to the point where it starts carving. And as you can see, I've done 2 other tryouts with it before, and then I ended up doing just a small bowl, a ring bowl. I intend to do larger ones that would hold watches and bracelets. I just wanted to give it a try with a smaller piece because I didn't want to sit hours waiting for it to carve. But I would say yes, it did work out just fine once I figured out the issue with my situation, which I think had to do with the drivers. Maybe they got corrupted, and plus it's a computer that does not get all the new updates from Microsoft, so it could have been a conflict with the most recent drivers. I don't know exactly what it is, but what I know is creating a new profile in Windows and then installing the drivers under that new user profile solved my problem. I don't have any issues anymore. So right now it's just carving the inside of the ring bowl there that I'm making, and then once it was finished, I took it out to the bandsaw and cut it out. So is this a good fit for a beginner? For me, yes. I know at one point I got frustrated when I ran into the issue with the software just going to a hold without any further explanation. I know there's a learning curve with, just as with any other electronic machine, but I think using easel is my recommendation, because it's easy to design within easel and to carve right there. You design and then you go straight to carving it right after you select your material that you're using, the dimensions of it, the bits that you're using. The next thing I intend to try out is using both the roughen bit, which is what this one is, and then the finishing bit, which I believe will be the V carve, the 30-degree V bit. At this point I was thinking maybe I could make a cover for it. We'll see. Yeah, might be nice, but like this is like a prototype, so I may or may not be doing a cover for it, unless I want to do something like a wedding band case, and then I could make the cover. We'll see. And if I do, I would definitely share that video. Let me know if it's something that you would like to see. I'll definitely be using the CNC to make the cover.